So you'll begin with, this was his compact.
Yeah.
Six lines from the bottom.
Yeah.
Good.
This was his compact with his mighty mate, for love of her and joined to her forever, to follow the course of time's eternity, amid magic dramas of her sudden moods, and the surprises of her masked idea, and the
Vicissitudes.
and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice.
So the only thing that I would criticize here is that you drop the word forever. But forever,
Okay.
really the next line follows that. For love of her and joined to her forever, to follow the course of time's eternity.
Okay.
So let's read it again. From this was his compact.
This was his compact with his mighty mate, for love of her and joined to her forever, to follow the course of time's eternity, amid magic dramas of her sudden moods and the surprises of her masked idea and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice.
So a lot to go through there. Those 6 lines.
Yeah.
So Sri Aurobindo uses the word compact. This was an agreement with his mighty mate, the Divine Mother, or the Supreme Creatrix, or Prakriti.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for love of her. And he's joined to her forever to follow the course of time's eternity. Time never ceases. Time will go on in thousands of our births from now on as we progress higher and higher and higher. And when we get into Satchidananda, it will be timeless. There will be no sense of time, but it will continue. Because there will be so much to explore, even when we are realized beings, even when we become supermental. Then we have to go into those realms of Satchidananda and their infinite exploration. So then he says, amid magic dramas of her sudden moods and the surprises of her masked idea. Well, he capitalizes the I for idea.
Yeah.
So this is the what shall I say? The masked idea is, this is her vision of the future of the earth. That's her idea. And then he uses 2 interesting words, and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice. Well, is the vicissitude is a fluctuation of state or a condition of mutability.
Okay.
And a caprice is also a sudden change of mood or behavior. So in one line, he gives us so much.
Ambiguity or
Yes.
Yeah.
So changes of mood or behavior.
Yeah, and he also previously says sudden moods, surprises.
Exactly. He's the whole thing, he's giving us that vision of the divine creatrix. He has to follow the course of time's eternity amid these magic dramas of her sudden moods and the surprises of her masked idea and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice, he's following all of this, and it's so beautiful because you cannot separate Purusha from Prakriti. They are one. Prakriti manifests out of him. The Divine Mother is an aspect of the Purusha who is put out to lift the world and humanity. Okay, we carry on.
Two seem his goals, yet ever are they one, and gaze at each other ever bornless time.
No, overbornness.
Spirit overborn
Gaze
this
at each
time.
other, overbornness time. Born.
Born. What does born mean?
Born is limitless, without limit.
Limitless.
So it's a time that's without limit. Huh?
Okay. Two seems his goals, yet ever are they one, and gaze at each other over bornless time.
Very good.
Spirit and matter are their end and source. A seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms, of the great mother's wide, unchartered will, and the rude enigma.
Not unchartered, uncharted. So there's no chart, no map. Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Yeah,
Okay.
hasn't been drawn out, hasn't been mapped out yet.
Yeah.
Chartered would be a different word altogether.
A seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms, of the great mother's wide, unchartered will.
No, you said
and the rude.
Unchartered, you said again. So that means there's no charter, but this is uncharted. Uncharted. There's no R in it.
Uncharted. Okay.
You see, there's no R. Uncharted.
Okay. Of the great mother's wide, uncharted will.
Good.
Did I get it? Okay.
So
and the rude enigma. Yeah, it's not mapped out. And the rude enigma of her terrestrial ways. He is the explorer and the mariner on a secret mariner.
Marine mariner.
Mariner.
Okay. Who is a sailor, huh?
Mm-hmm. He is the explorer and the mariner on a secret inner ocean without bourne.
Again, he is the boundary. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. He is the adventurer.
And the cosmologist of a magic Earth's obscure geography.
Well, a lot to do here. Okay.
Yeah. So we started at the beginning. Two seems his goals.
Yes. So it seems that there are two goals that he wants to create, and yet he wants to be limitless, but they are one goal, and they gaze at each other over this time that is without limit. And what are they? Spirit and matter are their source and their finality. The idea, capital I idea, is that matter has to be fully invested with spirit. Matter was always this heavy lump of clay, rock, etc., that was so slow, although it has the divine force in it, it's almost sedentary, almost motionless. And it's the work of pushing the spirit into matter so that the earth can become a lifeline. So a seeker, now we're speaking about the Purusha, a seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms. Hidden meanings of what? Of the Great Mother's wide, uncharted will, unmapped will, not mapped out. And the rude enigma is a puzzle, of her terrestrial ways. Terrestrial ways are earthly ways. Terrestrial, earthly. So, on a secret inner ocean, without bourne. Again, bourne is a boundary. And then there's a colon there, I believe.
Yeah.
He is the adventurer and the cosmologist. Cosmologist is one who studies the physical universe as a totality, I would say, in time and space.
Okay.
The suffix ology always means study of.
Yeah.
So we have reflexology, we have geology, all of these things are the study of.
Yeah.
So this is the study of the cosmos.
Cosmos. Yeah.
So he is the adventurer and the cosmologist of a magic Earth's obscure geography. Now, Sri Aurobindo uses magic very often, but it's not just in the it's not in the common usage of magic. It's something that's far above what our minds can conceive, and therefore it seems to us magical. But there is no true magic. Everything is the divine. And we'll only see that as we progress from higher mind to illumined mind to intuitive mind and then to overmind. As we go higher and higher in our realizations, we will understand this better. But here he says it's magic earths, obscure, not very clear geography. And that is why it's so important that the earth be healed of all that we have done to it. We've poisoned its rivers and lakes. We've even poisoned the ocean. In the Ganges, they throw so much waste that it's the most polluted place and it's the most sacred at the same time. All this is man's doing and has to be undone. So the Gaia theory says the following, that Earth will heal herself even at the expense of man. Man even may have to go if he doesn't collaborate to clean up nature. I mean, when I was a young man, I could swim in any stream. Any stream. There were not bottles and trash and paper. When I went to Baroda to the college there to give a talk, the plastic and paper that covered the grass almost hid the entire lawns.
Wow.
Very sad. So there we are. He is the adventurer and he is the cosmologist, one studies this whole universe of a magic Earth's obscure geography. You can begin again.
Yeah. In her material order's fixed design, where all seems sure and even when changed the same, even though the end is left forever unknown and ever unstable is life's shifting flow. His paths are found for him by silent fate as stations in the age's weltering flood. Firm lands appear that tempt and stay a while. Then new horizons lure the mind's advance. There comes no close to the finite's boundlessness. There is no last certitude in which thought can pause, and no terminus to the soul's experience.
Yes, a lot here. Because weltering flood is rolling, tossing about. So we begin then in her material order's fixed design. So there is a fixed design to material order. So where everything seems sure, okay, rain is going to happen or it's not going to happen. There's going to be a desert or there's going to be fertile land. There's going to be a river here and et cetera, et cetera. So where all seems sure, and even when changed, so we can build a dam and change the flow of the water, but it's still sort of the same. Even when changed, it's the same. And then even though the end is left forever unknown, well, you see, the end will never be known until the supermental is fully in charge of the earth. And there are beings who have been transformed. And that is why Mother has spent from the years of 1962 to 73, 11 years just working on the body, her physical body. So she left at the age of 95. And she started at 84, transforming the body. So even though the end is left forever unknown, and ever unstable is life's shifting flow. Well, yes, life's shifting flow is always unstable. We have new governments, we have coups, we have wars, we have all kinds of horrors. We have now terrorists, and we have dirty bombs, and it goes on and on. This flow of life is always shifting, always shifting. Mother and Sri Aurobindo would tell us it's always shifting for the better, although that's not so easy for us to see. His paths are found for him by silent fate. And then he finds his paths now as stations in the age's weltering flood. Weltering is rolling or tossing about. So he finds stations, And those stations are firm lands that they appear and they tempt and they stay a while. But then new horizons lure the mind's advance. So we are always looking for the new and the unknown. There's a line in Savitri: forever to the new and the unknown, press on. Beautiful line. So the mind's advance, because as the mind progresses from the physical mind to a higher mind and then above those ranges, obviously new horizons are going to lure it. And there comes no close to the finite's boundlessness. There is no last certitude in which thought can pause. Why is that? Well, because the evolutionary cycle moves us forward constantly. So that we can't say, this is the problem, Prema, of all the religions. And I don't give anyone an exception. They have a finite, whether it's a heaven or whether it's a nirvana or whether it's a place where there are 40 virgins and the martyr can go there. They all have a finite place. Yeah. And that finite place, there is truly no terminus, no end or extreme limit. Terminus is an end or an extreme limit. A terminal is where you catch a train at a terminal or a plane.
Yeah.
So terminus is the end or the limit.
Yeah.
So there is no last certitude in which thought can pause, and no terminus to the soul's experience, because the soul is constantly growing.
Yeah.
From life to life, from birth to birth. The Egyptians didn't have it right. They said it could go back to the animal state. An evil person could become a dog or something else, but it's not true. Even the most evil person is going to progress somehow towards a higher light. And that is the truth of all yoga, that there is no going backwards. We are always moving forward, and therefore there is no last certitude in which our minds, our thoughts can rest, even to pause. They can't even pause there, because there's no end, no extreme limit to the soul's experience. And now the last 4 lines.
A limit, a farness never wholly reached, an unattained perfection calls to him from distant boundaries in the unseen. A long beginning only has been made.
Now, I would have personally, after the colon, I would have waited just a little bit for that last line to come. And it hits you so strongly. But if you just run them together, you lose the power of it. So
I'll try again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A limit, a farness never wholly reached, an unattained perfection
Let me start
calls to him.
Let me stop you there. You dropped the word reached.
Okay.
Never wholly reached. No. Never wholly reached. And why? Because it's an unattained perfection.
Unattained perfection. Yeah. Calls to him. Yeah. A limit, a farness never wholly reached, and unattained perfection calls to him from distant boundaries in the unseen. A long beginning only has been made.
Again, here I would say, a long beginning only has been made.
Okay. A
This
long
difference?
beginning only has been made.
No, a long beginning only has been. It's only a long beginning that has been made. A long beginning only has been made.
Only has been made.
So
Yeah,
you
because it's
have a little
only a beginning.
Yes. Those four again?
A limit of farness never wholly reached, an unattained perfection calls to him from distant boundaries in the unseen. A long beginning only has been made.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Um, we'll go over a few more lines next time
Okay.
and then launch into this great passage, which goes on for many, many, many pages.
Wow.
In fact, it ends
73.
73.
Yeah.
Totally sustained passage.
Hmm. Okay.
Wonderful. Any questions? What we read? I'd like you to feel it's complete at the end of each session. You might like to read the whole thing again because we've had definitions, we've had breaks, we've had hesitations and pauses.
Yeah.
Maybe you can wrap it all into one. Try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This was his compact with his mighty mate for love of her and joined to her forever, to follow the course of time's eternity amid magic dramas of her sudden moods and the surprises of her masked ideas and the vicissitudes of her vast caprice. Two seems two seem his goals, yet ever are they one, and gaze at each other over
Mournless.
bournless time,
See,
and gaze at
would
each
be,
other.
see, born would be BORN, but this
Yeah,
BOURN, so it's mournless.
bourn, and gaze at each other over bournless time.
Mm.
Spirit and matter are their end and source. A seeker of hidden meanings in life's forms, of the great mother's wide, uncharted will,
No,
and
uncharted.
uncharted, again I lost,
No
of
problem.
the great mother's wide, uncharted will, and the rude enigma of her terrestrial ways. He is the explorer and the mariner.
No, mar, mar,
Marine,
mar,
mariner,
mariner.
mariner. He is the explorer and the mariner.
No, mariner.
On
Mar is the French for sea.
okay,
Mar or mer is the French for sea. So mariner is a sea person.
okay,
A
mariner.
a sailor. Okay.
He is the explorer and the mariner on a secret inner ocean without bourne. He is the adventurer and cosmologist of a magic earth's obscure geography. In her material order's fixed design, where all seems sure, and even when changed, the same, even though the end is left forever unknown, and ever unstable is life's shifting flow. His paths are found for him by silent fate, as stations in the age's weltering flood. Firm lands appear that tempt and stay a while. Then new horizons lure the mind's advance. There comes no close to the finite's boundlessness. There is no last certitude in which thought can pause, and no terminus to the soul's experience. A limit, a farness never wholly changed, an
Reach,
unattained,
reached.
uh, reached. A limit, a farness never wholly reached, an unattained perfection calls to him from distant boundaries in the unseen. A long beginning only has been made.
Much better. Much better. I think we should reread it each time. I think
Okay.
it helps you also. The only thing that I would point out is you say amid, and I believe it's amid.
Amid. Okay.
Oh, not amid, but amid. On the second
Amid.
syllable, amid.
Okay. Amid. Okay. Amid.
Yeah, it means sort of amongst, amid
Yeah.
changing scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. No,
Thank you so much, Narad.